Hello, everybody. My name's Brennan,
You've got Gabe.
And Parker.
and this is Shadow Valley. So, everybody, welcome to the show. So today we actually have kind of a more relaxed episode. We all just kind of prepared a general topic. We kind of did a double release last week. We released two episodes
Yeah, because
really
we're
close.
cool.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why.
You're welcome.
And
Yeah,
so-
you're welcome. You get to hear our voices twice in a row.
exactly.
Or we're sorry.
Or we are sorry. Probably we are sorry.
maybe.
But I mean, if you're tuning into our episodes, then it probably means you like to listen. I don't know. I'd hope at least. But
Yeah. No, we're just sitting there like getting heckled.
yeah, I know. Can you
You're
imagine?
just like, this is too funny.
Well,
We're
like I
just-
said last time, I can't wait to have haters.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
dude. We're just somebody's like joke bag. They just put us on like, dude. Oh, here's a new episode, Shadow Valley. Let's make fun of them.
Here we go.
That actually makes me so depressed. dude.
Oh my gosh.
Cracking beers. They're like, listen to these idiots.
That would be kind of funny.
Damn, these guys are so stupid. I can't believe
Oh.
they're okay with putting this out.
Speaking of stupid,
Yeah.
I gotta apologize, Brennan. I was wrong what I said last episode about when I said the Uinta versus Wasatch Mountains or whatever.
Yeah.
You were right. I just was being a know-it-all. Apparently, I went and looked at it after I said that where they start and stop or whatever. So you were right. Like the Camas area is the Uinta
Ooh.
Mountains. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's
Slap
totally
him,
okay.
Brennan.
I had no idea. I was just sitting there like, huh, you don't say.
Well, I thought. Well, I mean, geez, it's like I've spent my whole life in those mountains. I should know. And then I look at it after, and I was like, I'm an asshole.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Well,
I don't think anybody really,
Thanks
Thought
for
that.
clearing that up.
until now at least.
Yeah, that's fine. They
I
can
would have
think that.
just gone on the rest of I actually didn't remember it. I probably would have still gone on calling it the Uentas
Yeah, probably.
because I just kind of like spaced it out afterwards. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, if you got a problem with it, I get it. If anyone else has a problem with it, they can pound sand.
Yeah. They can go kick rocks.
Just beat sand, beat meat. Or I mean, beat. I mean.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, this is going to be a more relaxed episode. We're just going to go around, share a topic, and just take it really casual. Nothing super big for you guys, especially since last week we did a double dose. We're like within the span of 2 days, I think we released 2 episodes.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault because we had recorded and I like my dumbass just hit publish and I was like, oh wait, Brennan, should we schedule this for like next week? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I just hit publish. So yeah, it's been my mistake almost every time because last time we had to do an impromptu episode due to my miscounting of weeks because I'm a fool. And then now we're having to do another episode because I hit publish too early. So
Yeah,
It's
but
all good.
I won't complain. I like recording. I like putting content out for everybody. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's one of the favorite parts of my week.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
It's a good time. But yeah, I think we all kind of met up and we discussed our topics and we decided we want to do something a little more edgy, I guess, if you will, for Halloween.
Yeah.
Something a little more toe curling.
Oh
if
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. But we want to do something a little scarier.
I don't know about you, but my toes are curled 24/7.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, dude.
God damn.
That's why I'm kind of cross-eyed sometimes.
Jesus Christ.
That's why your nose is bleeding all the time.
Yeah. It just never stops.
But yeah, so hopefully we can get something spooky in for you guys this next week, this following week, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we've got to talk about today.
We'll just talk about the IRS next week.
That's the scariest thing, yeah.
Yeah.
IRS and Dick Cheney, bro.
Fuck that man.
All right, now that we got that plugged in,
Check the box.
check.
Dick Cheney mentioned in some form. Wait.
So my story, I just have a quick story for you guys, just of when I was being stupid with a couple of my friends, and it was actually in the Uinta Mountains. I don't remember exactly where it was, but we had driven up for it. It was a scout camp or like like a whatever they call it now, because apparently aren't scouts like abolished or
I
something?
believe it's called rape camp. No.
Oh shit!
Oh, the LDS Church doesn't do scout camp anymore.
Oh
They
really?
don't do. Yeah, they're
Not
away from
affiliated with
scouts. They
Scouts,
just do like a young man camping trip.
Hmm.
Well, there's
Which
a
sounds
whole
totally worse, I guess. Actually,
there's a whole bunch of like hidden stories about like abuse that took place between the church activities that was associated with scouts and like
Hmm.
the church hid it, Boy Scouts hid it, counselors hid it, yada yada yada. So yeah, they stepped away from it, and actually a lot of it's been coming out in the last couple of years. So
damn.
Right? Because isn't that why I thought they got rid of scouts?
They
They
got rid
did,
of scouts
didn't they?
because they started allowing gays in.
Oh, so everybody just wait? No, not like the LDS Church, but like
Oh.
scouts in general. I thought they just like abolished scouts.
I think
I
they
don't think did.
like I think they're still around, but I think ever since the LDS Church like dropped them, they've just kind of faded away.
Well, anyway, this is for a little camping trip. Was with a few mutual friends of ours. We had all gone out, and there's 2 leaders with us, and it was 4 other young men, I believe. I can't remember. Maybe it was just us 3, but we started walking around, just kind of trying to see what was around the area and the campground. So we came across this little river, small tiny river, and along the river there were these guys on horseback, or they were just horseback riding, and they stopped and started talking to us, and they're like, "Hey guys, just a heads up, there's something out in the woods over there. You guys got to be careful. We think it's a bear. We're not 100% sure." And just the stupidity took over, right?
Yeah.
Which way? Which
way should
we
not
go?
Literally, that's exactly what we did. We're like, "Oh wait, where should we not go?"
Yeah.
And we don't have our like leaders with us.
Right.
And so we're like, okay, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to go try to find this bear, quote, or air quotes, bear, because we're stupid. And so these guys on horsebacks leave, and we're all kind of, again, just ignorant and being stupid. But we did make a point of remembering, oh, here's that river. And this is with the like rock and the trail that leads over to where our campsite is at.
Yeah.
At least you thought that far ahead.
But that was the only bit of like intelligence that we used that night. So as we're walking around, we're really, we probably got off of the path or the like tread of path that was already walked, maybe within 5 minutes of walking around trying to find this bear that was supposedly out there. So we're walking around. We head up to the spot where these guys said there was a bear, and we see like, we thought it was maybe just the horses that had trampled all the shrubs and crap.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty beat up. Like there was a lot of like fallen trees, because that's another thing too. Back I think it was like 2017 maybe. It was super dry in Utah, and so there was like dead crap everywhere. There's trees falling, everything, and so it was just a mess. But there was a lot of the tree that had been like, it almost looked like it was hacked away, and so we thought maybe they like stepped over it or something.
Yeah.
So we just kept following this kind of like section where it was I know there's a word for it, but
Trampled.
trampled. That's what I was thinking of. Where it was trampled. So we probably go about an hour, and the sun starts coming down.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so we're kind of like thinking to ourselves, well, there's probably no bear. I think these guys were just messing with us. And so my other buddy, he's like, dude, we should just turn around, because I honestly don't want to, like, we're all of the opinion at that point, like, we don't want to get lost.
Is this Jarl?
Yes, it was Jarl. Shout out to the Jarl.
The Jarl of Whiterun.
Yeah, the Jarl of
Wheat Thins.
of Utah. But we all kind of had the same feeling, like we should probably go back before the sun comes down, because we won't be able to find our way back.
Right.
But we all still had this idea of that little river and the rock that led back to camp. So we all decided to turn around. We start walking back, and at some point or another, we lost track of where we were going, obviously, because we're idiots. So we start kind of trying to tread back to where we think we were at. And at this point, we're probably about 30 minutes in. We're a little nervous. We start kind of thinking like, oh shit, what are we going to do? Because of this, like, we get lost. People are going to have to come try and find us. Or we're going to be out here and it gets super cold. And we're screwed. And
Yeah.
so we're all kind of starting to feel it at this point. And it was at that time when we started feeling like something was like watching us or like following us.
That's so sketch when you can like feel the hair on your neck stand up and like somehow you
Yeah.
can sense it and you don't know why.
Yeah, and it was probably like, I mean, still to this day, like we don't know if it was anything legit, and there's still more to the story, but
Yeah.
I think it was definitely a combination of like our anxiety to getting lost already,
Yeah.
also believing that there was possibly a bear out there
Yeah.
did not bode well for our situation,
Yeah.
and that it was getting already pretty much dark outside. Because at this point, we're like I said, it was about 30 minutes after we decided to turn around. We're already lost, and we were barely seeing any light at all.
Right.
So we all start kind of getting this eerie feeling of like, I think there's something out there. We think there's something watching us. So we keep treading on. And we're freaking out because none of us have phones, first of all. We didn't bring any flashlights because we thought we are going to be back in time.
Right.
And we're thinking at this point, we've been gone for probably an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours or so. And our leaders are probably like wondering, where the heck are these guys at?
Yeah.
So we start walking down and we think we can hear like the river that we were talking about. So we start heading toward the river. And then that's when we kind of like all freaked out because we heard like cracking behind us. Like if somebody
Mhm.
was like stepping in branches and stuff.
Damn.
And then we heard like brustling, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This point, we all freaked out. We started booking it. We like ran, dude.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. And I still remember the feeling I had. Like, it's just like, it's like that anxious feeling, but I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. It just felt like I just needed to get out of the situation I was in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we start running down and we are still trying to find that river. Probably another 15 minutes goes by of us just literally booking it.
Yeah.
We finally find this river and we get we start following the river down because we think we're supposed to be going down. We thought maybe we met up with the river a little bit further upstream. And so we start following the river down. And then again, we start hearing like crackling to the right of us instead. So I'm trying to like paint this picture of like I'll try and paint the picture of where our camp was. So like, say you're standing just in the middle of this river. To the left of you would be where our camp was, and to the right was where our that bear or whatever was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we thought we were much further up south if we're looking down the river. We thought we were much further up south, and we thought we needed to go north to get down to where that rock was.
Yeah.
So we start running down, and we start running down, and we start hearing this cracking again in the shrubs.
Yeah.
And I still remember it because it freaked me out so bad. And Jarl actually saw it too. But we look over and we swear we saw like some dude standing there just staring at us.
Oh, serious?
Jeez.
Dude, and it was
Like just
freaky.
a human looking person?
Right. And the freaky thing is that like we could only see like not a shadow, but it was like an outline almost.
Like a silhouette or
Yeah, but it wasn't like I could see any eyes or anything. It was just like kind of there. And
Right.
it was more freaky because of all the cracking and the shrubs and crap that we heard.
Yeah.
We both looked over and we freaking ran the other way. We
You
found
were
the
about
rock.
to stick
Yeah,
around,
dude.
yeah.
We did it so fast. But I'm sure if we ask the other mutual friend of ours that was with us, he'd probably deny it till this day.
He is kind of like a skeptic.
Yeah, he definitely
he's
is.
definitely.
Yeah,
he
he
also
definitely is.
makes up his own history. So
Yeah.
about when the Japanese bombed the Germans. And
Yeah,
oh my
stuff like
gosh.
that. Yeah.
He's a wild dude. I love
Um,
that guy though. But yeah, so we ran back up the river, found the rock, we made it back, and our leaders were like pissed. They're like, "You guys have been gone for like 2 hours. We thought we were gonna have to send out like
Search and rescue.
search and rescue for you guys and stuff." Dude, it was terrifying. And that's another thing that Jarl and I did. We slept in the back of our leader's truck because we were terrified.
Yeah.
And you know what our other mutual friend did?
What?
That fool brought a tarp and he just slept in the tarp on the
my
ground.
gosh.
That sounds like him.
Yeah. He literally just got the tarp, wrapped it around himself,
Oh
and
my
went to sleep.
gosh.
Jeez.
What a
He's crazy.
what a bupkis.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway.
no sleeping bag, just a tarp.
Literally just a tarp.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
So was it just you? Who was it? Just you three? I guess you don't want to say names on the podcast, but
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think there was another individual there, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was somebody we also all know, but
does he make hot chocolate on YouTube?
Oh
He
my
used
Ramen
to.
god.
noodles.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, that was probably one of the scariest moments that I've had. I know it probably doesn't sound like that intense at
Yeah.
all, but being in a dark like mountain and then not knowing where the hell you're at, especially because we all felt like we were like gonna be lost for the rest of the night.
yeah.
I think it definitely heightened my like fear at that time, you know.
Sure, yeah.
I can see
Especially
that.
like and again, like maybe what we saw was just kind of like our imagination because of like the noise that
Well,
we were hearing.
But so what's funny about that is like, anyone who's been out in the woods, much would know it takes a decent amount. I mean, your steps can sound really loud,
Right.
but like for you to hear something that is loud enough that it draws your attention, something that you would think is like loud footsteps, like it's
Right.
loud. It's not like you're imagining it or
No, especially the freaky thing was that, and I'm glad you brought that up because we were on the river.
oh yeah. So if you heard anything,
Right.
Like
And
that river's gonna be
It was
loud.
loud.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
the thing.
dang.
Like we heard the cracking. We heard like steps behind us, like coming. It's almost sounded like it was chasing us. Obviously, like maybe it wasn't. And again, maybe it was like a rabbit or
Well-
something that was just behind us that spooked us, But
Maybe.
Well, so my thoughts are like when you first start talking, like, well, maybe it was a deer or an elk.
Mhm.
Elk make more noise because they're bigger, but still, like, when you're, if you see a deer and elk when out in the woods, you'll hear you'll kind of hear them like sprint to like start to run away. You'll hear
Yeah.
like that initial, and then after that, it seems like they go like silent, like
Mhm.
just because they're good at moving through the trees.
Yeah.
And so like after they've found their trail or momentum, they quiet down because they're just on a paved trail because they know where to go.
Right.
And then my thoughts are, my other thought was, because you said you saw like an outline of a person.
Yeah.
Well, so I know people that skin bears, like kill bears and then they skin them. A lot of them say it's kind of eerie because once you take all the fur off, it actually looks like a dead human almost because it's just not as big.
That is
Right.
spooky.
Yeah, so because you're taking like 4 inches off the between the hair and the hide and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're probably taking like 4 inches off of the total. So it makes it more like human size. But anyways, my point is, I wonder if it was a bear, it still could have looked like a human,
Right.
but then also it still could have been a human, which is freaking
Dude.
eerie.
Yeah.
That's and the thing is too that when we because we all stopped and looked, and it didn't react at all. I don't know, man. I still
That's
it
eerie
gives
too.
me
huh?
like shivers down my back. I
That is
just hate-
crazy.
I like seldom think about that too, because I just don't like also. Like fear of being lost, I think is probably one of my bigger fears as well.
Yeah.
Especially in like a place so vast like the Uinta Mountains.
Right.
And
It
on
just
top
seems
of
so
that,
out of your control. It's
Exactly.
terrifying.
exactly, I just hate not being able to know where I'm at, and it being out of my control. I think that's another reason why I don't like thinking about it because it gives me anxiety,
Yeah.
But yeah, that night was probably one of the scariest moments of my life, to be honest.
I can see
hated
that.
it. I hated it so much. But other than that, I don't have I haven't had many experiences of anything crazy.
Do you remember your?
Wasn't your house like haunted?
That's what I was gonna say.
So as I was actually going to mention that I do have a story of when my brother, he had some pretty weird stuff happen to him. Is that what you guys are
That's
referencing?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it on the way down here. I
Yeah.
was like, I hope he talks about that because I can't remember exactly what the story
Yeah,
was.
and I'll try to like give you guys as much detail. Also, it didn't happen to me, right?
Yeah.
So this is my brother's story that he witnessed and happened to him. So in a house that we lived in Orem, back when I was a little kid.
I feel like
It always-
Orem's just full of haunted houses.
Yeah. It always kind of like had like a weird feeling to it. I remember my dad one time told us a story of we had 4 levels in that house. It wasn't like a huge house, but it just had a very deep basement.
Yeah.
It was like a split entry, wasn't it? I can't remember. You walk in and you can go upstairs.
Yes,
or
it was
downstairs?
the way it happened. So the door opens and then it was a split entry, but there was like a pathway, and then to the left there was a living room,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then split entry there, and then the kitchen was to the right.
Yeah.
That's funny. I can remember your other house like
Uh-huh.
vividly, but I can't remember that house very much.
Well, I think you guys went to my other house a lot more.
Probably.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
no, you're good. So we had the very basement level. This is where like the food pantry and stuff was. But to the left, going down the stairs to the left, my sisters used to be in that room.
Yeah.
And my dad, he actually had them move out of that room and upstairs. He said he had a dream one night that he doesn't know what, but something locked them inside of that room, and the windows completely locked, the doors completely locked, and he said that he could only hear like my sisters being hurt, like screaming, and
Yeah.
they couldn't get into the room,
Oh, really?
and they had no idea why. And after that dream my dad had, he like was super unsettled by it, and so he had them move all their stuff out of the basement.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that kind of stuff that would set my parents off. And then the story with my brother. So apparently it was like this late night. I don't remember exactly what day it was, but it was late during the night. And my brother was downstairs because at this time he was like 18. So my parents didn't care what he was doing. I'm sure I don't know if I mentioned this, but my parents used to be pretty locked down, pretty strict about things. And so
Mhm.
Yeah.
as soon as my brother turned 18, he kind of took advantage of it and started staying up late, doing whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So he was going to spend the night in the basement, not the basement level, but like our TV room.
Yeah.
And he said he was sitting on the couch, and then when he like was ready to go to bed, he grabbed the controllers and like the TV remote and stuff, and went up, put it down, went to the bathroom. He came back into the room, and he said out of nowhere he had the controller like fly and hit his chest.
Jeez.
And he said it like hurt like crazy. And from that, he like ran upstairs to my parents' room and woke them up. And then they looked at his chest, and you could see the imprint of the controller on his chest,
Dang.
That's insane.
like
that
the
it even-
buttons, everything.
You'd have to get hit so hard.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so at that point, my brother was like freaking out, and my parents didn't know what to do. And so back then, when my my family was pretty religious at that point, and so they
Yeah.
called people from the church to come over and like they do this thing in the LDS church where you can bless a home to essentially just like give it like protection, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Kick out the bad stuff
Yeah.
if there
And-
is any.
Yeah, if there's any. And so they had somebody come over and bless the home, and yeah, that was a freaky time, dude. That house, I don't know what it was with that house, but I remember during a winter one season, I had walked out and there was a frozen cat on
Oh
the
my
side of the
gosh.
house, dead. Dude, that freaked me out a lot, actually. Oh man, I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah.
very unfortunate for that cat.
Well, it was just weird because it wasn't like a very cold winter, I remember. And I was
Uh-huh.
very surprised to like go outside and see it was almost like it like froze in its tracks,
Yeah.
because it was like laying on the ground and its paws were up.
Oh
It
dang.
was-
Oh,
was
so it was
freaky,
like
dude.
mid-step. and just
Yeah, like
froze.
yeah, exactly. And there was a lot of weird stuff that happened in that house. And yeah, man, there was a lot of bad memories in that house. I had a dog. my dog, like I walked down to that same basement my brother was in, and the dog had like gotten into something, and I came over and I didn't like yell, I didn't touch him. I just said his name, and he jumped up and ripped my lip open.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I remember that.
Yeah, he jumped up, bit my lip, and ripped it down. And yeah, man, that's weird. I had a lot of bad memories in that house, actually.
That's crazy.
So do
Yeah.
you? I mean, it sounds pretty haunted, especially like that. Like it's been known in very haunted places for it to impact animals weird or like make people aggressive and
Yeah.
stuff. Like the story I have, it kind of talks a little bit about because it's just such an incredible haunting that it actually would influence the moods of people and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
really?
That's
we can get
crazy.
into- but anyways, my point is that it's it's kind of interesting that you have more bad memories with the house when you have the same family members,
Yeah,
the same personalities. I mean, you're all growing up and getting a little older, but
right.
other than that, the same people all together, and then you have a bad experience based on a house location, and then you move 2 streets over a couple of years later,
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
you don't have any. I mean, I have a lot of good memories at your other house,
Mhm.
so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. And I wonder if my siblings like remember it differently than I do. But I just like now that I'm thinking about it, like the only memories I really, really have of that home are like just not great ones.
Yeah.
Mind you, though, I do remember like liking living there, but I also don't have very fond memories of things that happened and transpired, I guess.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember playing Portal 2 in that TV room
Yeah,
for
dude.
like hours.
Oh
I
my
love that
gosh.
game. That
Yeah,
game was the
That
best.
was awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I guess I had a little bit more to talk about that I had forgotten about, but yeah, I don't know. I again, maybe I over exaggerated my view of it just because I remember it differently, but it really was probably one of the scariest moments of my life. It just is super unsettling.
It is unsettling. Like I can definitely understand why, especially like getting lost. Like
Mhm.
that is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, speaking of haunted houses, it's actually my topic for this, and I apologize. I haven't done an immense amount of research on this, and the main reason is because there's so much to research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast on the way down here about it, but it's like part 1 of 2 or 3 parts, and the first part was like 3 hours and 53 minutes. So
Jeez.
Wow.
to be fair, the guys kind of ramble a lot. They go into the history of the town a lot, but basically like this town, like almost every building there is haunted. So, but
Huh.
this house especially. So,
What's
It's-
the town?
it's in Kansas.
Kansas.
Atchison, Kansas.
Atchison,
Nice.
Kansas.
The home is located at 508 North 2nd Street and has seen its fair share of history throughout the years, is what this says.
Oh, you know what? We actually have like a very active listener in Kansas, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to them. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it is Kansas, but
Shout
maybe if you want to message us, give us any details that you might have. I don't know where
Yeah,
that is
I would
in
love
your
that.
vicinity.
I
Whether
would
it
love
is or
some
not.
inside information on
Yeah, that'd be
this.
sweet.
That'd be way cool.
So it's called the Sally House. Have you ever heard of it? Either of you?
No, I haven't.
I just was told by another friend from Heber. He said he's like, you got to listen to this podcast, like, and he referred it to me. He says, you got to listen to this episode like when it's daylight because it'll freak you out so bad you can't even go to sleep at night. So that's according to him. But and then also I went to watch a video on YouTube, and the like recording before, or sorry, the beginning of the video, the paranormal guy was like there's this huge red thing on the screen that said the producers are not responsible for if you get haunted by watching this video, basically, because
What?
they're saying that's like
That's so
literally
crazy.
how demonic and intense and evil like whatever this is.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's actually kind of spooky.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like
was
that.
like, as soon as I read that and understood, I'm like, there's no way.
It almost
that-
makes you not want to listen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. I shut it off.
Oh,
I was like,
hell yeah, good.
I was like, I'm not freaking chancing
I don't want
this.
none
I
of that
just
bad
moved into
juju.
a new house. There's no reason, no way. So, anyways, I was like,
On the other hand, I would totally listen to it.
Because you're crazy.
I am.
well,
Because I want to know.
I wanted to know it, but I was like,
Like Tarzan. Sorry, continue. Sorry.
so dumb.
Stupid. Stupid. Copyright strike.
I know we're screwed. Sorry, dude.
Uh.
Hey, I don't have to pay you royalties. You do.
God damn.
But I was still gonna watch it. I was like, here, whatever. And then like the guy on the video even was like, if you're not someone who like is somewhat okay with being haunted, I would maybe just stop the video right now. And it was like a 3-hour long video as well
Yeah.
on YouTube. There's a
That's
full
crazy.
documentary though, but this is by these like paranormal hunter guys. But anyways, some background on the house and where kind of they say that the kind of the story that they say is like originates the haunting
Mhm.
is and the reason it's called the Sally House. So it was this doctor that lived in this house back in the 1800s,
Mhm.
and he was at his just chilling at his house one night. Someone knocked on the door. He opens the door and it's a lady with her daughter, and he's like, or she goes, you know, I know you're a doctor. My daughter, I think she's gonna die. I
Mhm.
need you to do whatever you can to help. And then he says, okay. So he brings her in, and he had like an operation room in his house. I don't know if that was common for the time or not, but I'm guessing it kind of was, you know. But anyways, so he decides that she has appendicitis, so she
The
needs,
daughter.
yeah, the daughter.
Okay.
So she needs an appendectomy, or you know, needs her appendix removed.
Right.
And so he
Do,
starts.
do we have a time frame on this?
as far as like
What year was this happening?
oh, it was like in the 1800s.
I don't know. I don't remember if you had said that. Sorry if you did. But
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, built in the 1800s.
okay.
I'm trying to see if it has a better time frame for the actual. His name was Dr. Finney, Charles Finney, I think.
Finney, did he have a little Denny?
Probably. No, his thing was he's like, I'm finna surgery on you.
I'm Finney. Surgery on you. You Finney have appendicini. I'm out here dropping bars. Bro.
Yeah, they're like, Doc,
What the hell?
I don't think like in 1800s he's saying these things. They're like, I don't even know what language you're speaking.
They just think he's a witch.
Yeah, doth thou worship the devil?
Doth thou worship the devil? Burn him at the stake. A witch.
But first, take out my daughter's appendix. Please.
You mean a penny?
a penny? Get her penny, make a spaghetti.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I mean, how would the process of doing like removing the appendix back then be? I wonder. I mean, I would just assume that it was a lot more intense and intrusive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know how they do it now, but I'm sure that they have better lighting. I mean, it's not candlelight for one thing. And then, I mean, can you imagine it's like late at night? Like, okay, light all the candles up in here. Like, you know, probably not super sterile.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they didn't understand. Probably not super sharp blades because they probably didn't know how to make them like what they are
finite.
now. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they were sharp, but
Yeah.
you know, and then also the key here is the anesthesia. So there's two kind of different stories. Some say that she opted to not have anesthesia. Some say that she just like the anesthesia wasn't working on her or hadn't taken effect yet or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he starts this surgery and he's like cutting her open, and she like I guess wakes up in the middle of this procedure. And she just like starts screaming, thinks that he's like torturing her and trying to hurt her. And
I'm
then
assuming this is Sally.
yeah. And then she just goes like white as a ghost and dies.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like
So they're working on this girl, and she wakes up during the surgery, and just dies. Does she say anything? She's just freaking out. I'm
she's
assuming.
just screaming, like freaking out, and
What the?
like I don't, you know, they don't know what killed her
Mhm.
because like the procedure shouldn't have really killed her unless, you know, as far as like getting your appendix removed, unless
Right.
something was done incorrectly, you know,
Or she just lost like a bunch of blood.
could have. Well, it's probably a mixture of like if she's already like not in super great health, and so then they, you know, then they start cutting into her, and then
Right.
all of a sudden she has this huge fight or flight by this, you know, she wakes up and she, who knows, maybe she saw her guts open on the table, like, you
Oh,
don't
that'd
know.
be so freaky. Can you
So-
imagine having that
Oh.
that happening to you?
Close it up, Doc. What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't die,
Freaking idiot.
bruh. You just look at Finney. You're like, bruh, for real.
You finna
Literally.
do this to me, Finney?
you finna do this to shut up. Oh man.
Shut up, Sally.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh dang it, Sally. Go to sleep.
Good
news, she's
slaps
fine.
The shit out of her.
This anesthesia is working awesome. Like, look. Someone pour some water on her head.
Oh,
Oh, shit. She's not coming back.
Dang.
okay. So Sally dies.
Yeah. And then the fun begins. So, I actually don't know, like, a multitude of specific stories. But, like, let's see. I saw this part.
I could just imagine though, like you wake up and you see this guy just digging into your stomach, essentially,
It's crazy.
right? And then you die as a ghost. I mean, as all the tales go, right? That essentially is like a breeding ground for a haunting, wouldn't it be? Like this young girl dies and then she feels like she's been like there's been a wrongdoing done to her.
Yeah.
You know? And then that almost causes her to, and not almost, it causes her to say, you know what, I'm staying here
Yeah.
and I'm going to freaking make them pay for what they did to me. You know, maybe she didn't know at the time, like he really was just trying to help. Maybe they just didn't inject her with enough anesthesia or whatever it was. But I would imagine that if you are haunting a place like this, it's probably because you felt like you were done wrong,
Yeah.
you know?
For sure.
Especially is like in her position, waking up to see her, like Parker said, maybe her guts were out on the table, you know, like,
Jeez.
oh, that'd be so terrifying.
That would be terrifying. Just like,
Especially as a little kid, dude.
yeah.
I mean, as anybody, it would be terrifying, but
That's some serious therapy as a kid, though.
yeah. Or you just come back and haunt people,
That's fair.
which would be dope too.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So these are just some of like the things that have happened while people have been investigating the house. So it says events that have been witnessed by visitors to the Sally house include video and investigative equipment that stop working. Just go in, it's working fine, then or it's going in, or it's working fine before you go in, no more. So this actually goes with what Brendan was talking about last week. It says batteries that are full immediately and completely draining. Remember you talked about that with your
Yeah.
story. And or experience moving objects, unexplained scratches or bruising on their bodies during and after visits. Like
Right.
So that actually brings up a good point, and I forgot to mention this in the old house that I used to live in. There was a moment in time when I was like, I would sleep in my brother's room.
Yeah.
Just me and my brother were like really close. We still are really close, but he was like my best friend, and so I always wanted to hang out with him. And I slept in his room just on like a little mattress on the ground. And there was one night where he woke up like freaking out, and there were scratches on his back, and he was like visibly bleeding. Like,
That's
it was
insane.
bad.
that's
And
crazy.
there was nobody else in there. It was just my brother and I, and like he didn't do it to himself. And
Right.
so that's just another tidbit that I completely forgot about until you mentioned that, Parker, about the scratches on like unexplained scratches. It was freaky, man. That house, yeah, I don't know.
Sounds freaky.
It's crazy because, like, on one hand, you know, with this stuff, it's not. I've always thought like it's not that scary. Like, they can't do anything to hurt us.
Mhm.
Like, you know, how would they? Like, they're spirits and we have bodies. Like,
Right.
what could they do? But then there's obviously evidence that they actually can hurt you. And like,
Right.
and I don't know if, how far that goes, like how far they can affect you without your permission. Like, I'm sure if you're saying like welcoming spirits into you or like to be around you, like that's one thing. But I'm saying like
Yeah.
if you don't want them around you, how far can they go to antagonize? Like, can you, you know, and that's something I don't think. I definitely don't know. Maybe people that have spent their lives researching this would have a better answer, but I just can't, like, how much more terrifying it seems to be like, okay, you're going to go in this haunted house and it's so haunted that possibly you'll get possessed whether you want to be or not or
Right.
something, which is
So
It's
unsettling.
insane.
terrifying. Yeah.
It's so unsettling.
Then some other things, talks about physical touches.
So do they do you know if they experience any sort of like drop in temperature? at
Yeah,
all?
just the next one said mysterious coldness.
Hmm.
And this is interesting too. It says trained guide dogs will refuse to enter the nursery specifically.
It's insane.
Dude, I freaking hate that. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. We've talked about it several times, but
Dogs are the key.
I think just animals in general. I think dogs definitely like can tip you off to a lot of things, but I think animals just have a different like sense of things, you know? Like
Yeah.
seriously, if my dog ever does anything weird, it automatically sets like my like brain off. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? You know, like there was a time when my dog Penny, she popped up and just looked into our kitchen, and then the hair on the back of her, or on the back of her, on her back, just completely shot up. You know,
Jeez.
like have you seen when dogs kind of like when they get angry or they like
Mm-hmm.
it sticks up? And I was like, holy crap, like I don't know what's going on. And so
Yeah.
I told my wife just like, hey, wait, I'm gonna go check it out. And interestingly, there was a cat in our backyard and she somehow freaking heard it.
Jeez.
But that's the thing is like I can't hear anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, she knew what was out there, but I didn't. And that's why like anytime my dogs or pets do anything to like that unsettles them, I'm immediately unsettled as well.
Yeah.
I hate it.
They just know.
And it's mentioned in here too. Again, I'm just gonna, sorry for the listeners, like I'm straight up reading this, but it's just there's no better way to say it, so I'll try and make it entertaining.
Let's hear it.
It says, so this is the current hauntings of people that have lived there recently. It said, after Tony and Debbie Pickman moved in, a month passed without activity. Once they began to settle into their new home, lights started to dim on their own, and animals began to act strangely. After the birth of their son, the activity picked up even more, and strange molds grew on household items, which
That's
is
insane.
incredibly
What the-
random. Like to have mold on your, I don't know, spatula or whatever it is.
Yeah.
At one point, the couple even returned home from a day out to find all the nursery's stuffed animals in a circle on the floor.
Dude.
That is crazy.
Done.
Oh my
Done.
gosh.
That night, Tony began to feel intense burning on his back, and it was later discovered that he had 3 significant scratches running down his spine. After learning the home's history and about the story of Sally, the Pickmans attempt to embrace Sally as a sort of phantom daughter. So they're trying to be like, include her and be like, hey,
trying to make amends almost.
yeah, they're
with
like,
her.
you know, we don't want any problems, and if you're upset, like we want to, like, it legitimate. If I could help someone on the other side, like, and they had
Right.
good intentions, like, I'd be all for that,
Right,
you know?
definitely.
Anyways, but this is what's even more eerie. Is next part. It said soon after the attacks on Tony continued. During their child's birthday party, a doll even caught on fire for no apparent reason.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
So
And this was after they tried to like
yeah.
invite her in.
Yeah. They're trying to like be decent to this, you know, they're probably talking to the ghost and be like, Sally, it's all right, you know, like
Yeah.
just come take a seat, like
Yeah.
crack a cola and come watch some TV with us.
She's underage. No cold ones.
Well, I was just debating that in my mind. I'm like, could she?
Law and Order, SVU.
Bum, 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 bum.
But here's this part like makes my hair stand up a little bit. I don't know why. Said after 2 years of being assaulted mentally and physically in the home, the Pickmans finally moved out. Debbie Pickman now believes that Sally was not the spirit of a little girl, but a malevolent entity posing as a child in order to gain the trust of the family. For what reason, we'll never know.
Oh, I do that. Like,
Jeez.
actually just made me.
I hate that.
Oh, I hate
Don't
that
you hate
so
that?
much.
That is awful.
I hate that so much.
Jeez. I want to like experience that though.
I don't.
Well, you
immediately,
can. You can actually. You can go take a tour of the home,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even stay the night in
No
the home.
way.
Mm-hmm.
No
I'd stay like
way.
3 nights.
You can. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even stay one night. If I could leave the house and I knew it would stay in there,
Yeah.
I'd maybe stay overnight just because I'd be like, what are the odds something that bad's gonna happen one night? I mean, it always could, but tons of people stay in this thing overnight. And
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm sure crazy stuff happens, but
Mm,
you know. But anyways, my point being, I would hate to leave and somehow something
comes with
sticks
you.
with you,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
dude, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Ugh.
I'm not down with that. I don't know if I could do it because I think
I just want to know, bro.
at the end of the day, like,
I don't think you're gonna know even if you stay.
but you want to respect that stuff, you know? I just wouldn't. I don't want to like try my hand at seeing like what would happen, you know? It's like I'd rather hear it from afar, understand that that's probably out of my control, and those spirits probably are a lot stronger than me. So I don't even want to mess with that, you know? That's
enough.
freaky, dude. I'm not down with the sickness.
I'm not down. Yeah, it's something I definitely want to listen to more. One thing, this isn't in the article at all, but what I've kind of read and heard in other places is one family that lived there actually they would fight and like they wanted to get a divorce and like
That's
they were
crazy.
having like tons of fighting and they just thought it was them and their marriage.
Yeah.
But they figured out when they leave they'd feel good and they'd be fine and they're like I don't even know why I was mad. And then they'd go to the house and then they'd want to fight and like it was going to cause a divorce.
Oh, jeez.
Even to the point, I don't know if it was the same people because I'm just kind of piecing together stories I've heard of it.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was the same people or other people, but they it even like made people want to literally kill each other, like
Oh
to
my
like try and plan a
God.
murder.
Sounds
and
like
stuff
almost like a possession
Yeah,
to a degree.
It's like
for sure.
yeah, it's like possession, but it's more like the house is possessed, not like the people are being possessed because
Yeah.
they'll leave the house and they don't have this, but they would be sitting in the house and they would like legitimately want to murder
Right.
whoever's in there with them, which is crazy to think that. I just don't think it's fair that something could control your emotions that much.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Ugh. Dude, that almost reminds me of spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but Haunting of a Hill House. Have you guys seen that?
I love
no,
that.
but I've heard it's good.
It is really good, but within again, spoiler alert. But within that show, like as far as I guess as far as I understood it, that house that they lived in as like children was haunted, like itself, and it followed them all through like them growing up pretty
Yeah.
much. Like obviously like you've seen it, and again, sorry Parker, maybe you should watch it.
Oh, it's all right.
But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that same situation where it's like people go in, they feel like they want to kill each other or whatever, but when they leave they're fine. I guess in this instance they go in, they're haunted for like essentially the rest of their lives because that house is like has just such a strong hold on all the family, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's spooky, man. I hate the idea that it may not even be some little girl that was kind of done wrong, you know. It's just some maleficent freaking or not maleficent
Malevolent.
malevolent Maleficent is the show or the movie.
Another copyright strike.
Yeah, shit.
Disney, we didn't mean it.
Yeah. Don't even say their name, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Big monopoly in the sky. We didn't mean it.
Disney Day.
Isn't a day. But yeah, it's. I think it's even spookier to think about that it could just be some like spirit that just wants to be a dick, you know.
Well, no,
Ugh, that gives
it's
me, like,
so
shivers.
Well, it sounds so evil too, to just like it's one thing. It's insane when something flies across a room or bursts into flames.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Okay. But when you feel like this thing is posing as like a little girl,
Oh, it's-
and then it's actually like, I imagine the red-faced demon guy from Insidious. Like,
I was
imagine
thinking
it's
the
that
same
guy.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then like
Hmm.
it just adds a whole nother dimension of like creepiness and
Yeah.
eeriness to just be like, whoa, man! Like,
Yeah.
I don't want no part of this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like ghosts are catfishing you. You know, you just feel so
yeah,
betrayed.
I was thinking
Yeah.
that too.
Honestly,
it's
though,
like a
like-
6-year-old man on the other side of that computer.
Yeah, dude. You mean, yeah.
When I
but
went
yeah,
out with
like
that pedophile.
no, exactly. Like you just, it's almost like a disservice to you as well. You know, like especially if you're getting lied to in a different manner, but then you're thinking one thing. Like that family is trying to be kind to this spirit because they want to be.
Yeah.
To this little girl, you know, but then they find out that it's just some other freaky thing going on. Oh, it just gives me the
It'd be kind of
heebie-jeebies.
fun to
insane.
haunt someone though.
You
You
think
think?
so?
I could see why. Like, I wouldn't want to hurt anyone. Like, I'm not that guy that's
But
like,
just freak people out.
yeah, but can you feel like all you're doing is like tossing a remote control? I mean, when can you toss a remote controller now and make everyone freak out and be like, whoa, what just happened? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, can you imagine just like I'm bored today, trapped in this house anyways. I don't know what to do or how to progress. Just start throwing books off the shelves. Like, just, you know, ooh, I'm flickering the lights. Like, just all these random crap. Like, it would be entertaining.
It would.
But wouldn't you have to have like why would you be? I guess that's probably another topic for a different time. But
Yeah.
you know, like why would you be here on Earth still?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I'm just so curious about that. I wonder. Maybe that's something we can talk about in our Halloween episode.
That's true. Maybe we can touch on the afterlife.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. To be honest with you, I have like no thoughts on that at all whatsoever because I
Yeah.
just haven't thought about that long. You know, I would assume that for you to be here on Earth, I guess you'd either have to be like a really shitty person or something that was like you got the short end of the stick and now you're here to like avenge yourself almost.
I could
You
see
know.
that.
But I don't know. I'm probably completely wrong.
I think we're all completely wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Anything to do with the afterlife, I don't think many people have it 100% right. Or
Oh yeah, I
even
guess you're right. Yeah.
if someone said they had it 50% right, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, honestly, I think we're all in the dark about everything, right? I think that's we're trying to solve one of life's greatest mysteries. You know?
Yeah,
What do
well-
you see after you die?
Yeah.
Well, man, I don't know if I want to talk about this. I'm just gonna talk about it. Okay.
Go for
All
it.
right, let's hear it.
So
Do I need to
um,
put my tinfoil hat on?
no, it's not tinfoil
Is it
hat-ish.
something that happened to you?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just like something I don't know if I want to put out for everyone to hear, but like,
So you're not going to put out?
no, but I am.
Okay,
Oh, okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah, I'm just baptism by fire. If someone finds this, then good on them for finding it, I guess.
Yeah.
So, crap. Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
just
bro.
that build up.
Dang.
Yeah, now I'm freaking dying over here.
Okay, so
Anticipation's
we were
killing
talking about like the afterlife, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, sorry, we can cut this out if we have to.
No,
But,
continue.
anyways, I was watching this this like guy talk about the afterlife, and he had like a near death experience, and he saw this guy, and there was all these people. He was in hell. He goes to hell, and he sees this guy there, and all these people are super mad at this guy, and so he's talking to
So sorry, let me get this straight. So he sees a guy and all the people are mad at that guy that he's seeing?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So he's died. He's figures out he's in hell. I'm not sure who he talks to. I can't remember, or what. But he's like asking someone else there who's also in hell. They're like, why is everyone mad at this guy?
Yeah.
Like, just these people are just yelling at him in hell. And you'd think in hell, you'd think everyone be busy worried about themselves.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And what he said, and hey, true or not, I have no idea. So I don't claim that it's true. I'm just saying it was said. He said it was Joseph Smith, and everyone was
No.
mad. Yeah, everyone was mad because they were like, "Hey, this we were trying to follow like choose the right and like
Yeah.
be God's people, and then we followed this idiot, and and now it's like made us like damned to hell basically."
God damn.
Wow, what a
That's
weird.
hilarious.
I don't want to cause waves. It might not matter to that many people that listen to this anyways, but I'm just saying that's what he said.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
shoot the messenger.
Joseph
no,
Smith
yeah.
gets wrecked in hell,
But
bro.
yeah, they're like,
Oh my god.
well, because and like I personally like I don't know what the afterlife looks like. If there is an afterlife, then like I think, you know, say there's a God, Jesus, XYZ. I mean, that's what I believe, but no one really knows. But anyways, I think anyways that so if Joseph Smith was evil, but you were following him and trying to be good,
Yeah.
then I just feel like I don't think God would like send you to hell and be like, well, you did these things were bad, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I was trying to follow God. Like this guy just deceived me. That's not
Yeah.
my fault.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, a lot of ifs, but
Right.
anyways, my point is, I don't know that I'd believe that there'd be anyone who's in hell. I think they would know why they're there. I don't think it would be a surprise because
Yeah.
I think it's all about like what choices you know you're making.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah. Yeah, I hear
anyways,
you.
major tangent,
Yeah,
but
just a little bit.
It's just kind of funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, we're on the subject of afterlife, but no, that's interesting. I don't know, man. That's like one thing that I kind of look forward to, you know, is like death, but I also don't look forward to death, you know. You
Yeah.
want to enjoy the time you have here with your loved ones and enjoy what you have, but I also really, 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 it's just the curiosity in me just wants to know what is there.
Yeah.
Am I just gonna die and never see anything again? Is that it? You know?
Yeah. Well, that's then what's funny about that is like that's so awful sounding to some people, but to me, I'm like, I don't know. It seems kind of terrifying to think that there's never an end to some time.
Right.
And I don't know, that might just be because like we're all humans,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can't even comprehend something that's infinite, like an infinite eternal life or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that sounds kind of peaceful to just be like, I've lived my life. I spend as much time as I can with my loved ones. Like they know I love them. I'm just gonna like just not exist anymore and just like have my rest, whatever that's
Yeah.
like, you know, even if it's just you just know consciousness, blackness that you don't even know you're you know, I'm like, that doesn't sound that awful. It doesn't sound that great, but
Right.
it doesn't sound that awful compared to other theories.
Right.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
That's fair.
I guess we'll find out, right?
yeah, at some point.
Definitely fair for sure.
I know I've thought before when I'm at a funeral, I'm like, I'm kind of jealous. Like they know now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like what happens.
Yeah.
I'm
Even if
jealous for
there's
other
nothing.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they don't have to worry about the IRS or Dick Cheney anymore.
That's true. Fuck that man. God damn, he's the worst.
All right. Okay. We plugged it twice, guys. We can't plug it more than once. Okay. Come on.
Bad
Fair
taste.
enough.
Well, sweet. That's really that's spooky. I don't love the idea of ghosts already. But yeah, you guys kind of made me realize that maybe my house was like haunted.
I know.
It
I think
sounds
thinking about
like
it now,
it.
I'm like, your house is basically the Sally house in Utah.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
gosh.
I never thought about it. I really am like interested to talk to my siblings now and see what their thoughts are on the whole situation as well. Just because I wonder if they also are of the same opinion or like the same memory that I have on
Yeah.
everything. But I don't know.
Fair enough. I can see that. So we're on to the final
The final
loop.
stretch.
So I'll try not to take up too much time.
Take
I know
all the
we're
time
already
you
hitting
want.
at an hour.
Yeah. We were all talking before the episode. We're like, it's probably gonna be like 30-minute episode. Now we're an hour in.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
But something I did some research on, and it was just kind of different canyons in Utah and some like the hauntings. Something I didn't know about until recently, and it was only because of a TikTok video. And so I was looking into this, and it's the Midnight Bee Man. which I had no idea what the Midnight Bee Man was. I don't know. Have you guys heard of the Midnight Bee Man?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
So I think
I
you,
was-
you had sent me that TikTok.
Okay.
And so that's the only
Probably.
reason I know is because of you, actually.
It was so weird. When I saw that, I was like, because we're known as the Beehive State. And so I was like, I could see somebody like making something up about this. Because like growing up here and not hearing a single thing about it was like really weird. But just to kind of tell the story, this is kind of from the point of view of somebody who was up there and had this experience. And forgive me if the story sounds a little bit choppy as I'm reading it. I'm a little bit tired, and so my reading skills aren't top tier right now. And so I might throw in some ums, but forgive me. Okay?
You're not forgiven.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Go.
He apologizes again. I'm sorry.
Okay. So at the time of this story, I was a young college student. I was a male in my early 20s. And what happened that night is something I will never forget. To kind of give context on what happened, I went out with my friend and two other girls. Due to our religion, we were encouraged to go on things like double dates. We weren't supposed to go on single dates. We were supposed to make sure they were group activities, just because that's the way. Sorry, that's the way our religion kind of tried to keep us. You know what I mean?
Just like
the
mitigate
LDS.
what? Yeah. Because, well, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure you, I don't know, but within the LDS community, they want to mitigate the time spent alone with like a female
Yeah.
or somebody of the opposite gender. So they really encourage like younger kids, younger teenagers to hang out in groups.
Yeah.
So as to try and like, again, mitigate how often you're spending with the opposite gender
Right.
alone. So you don't like make a mistake or stuff
Orgies
like that.
or nothing.
Basically, so you don't have
Orgies
sex.
or nothing.
Or cheese. I thought you said or cheese.
That's
Oh.
what I
Like, what
thought.
cheese are you talking about?
Mozzarella.
Oh, mozzarella. Mozzarella. Rigatoni.
Sorry. Before you keep going, is this your story you've written out, or are you reading someone else's story?
I'm reading somebody else's
Oh, okay.
story
Gotcha.
that I found.
Okay.
And so I was going out with this girl. The plan for the date was we were going to go stargazing. The four of us were going to go stargazing. And so we made plans to go up Spanish Fort Canyon and try and find a spot to stargaze. As I was driving down the road, I saw this area that looked like it would be nice just off the end of the highway. And so I pulled off the road and I began walking with my at the time girlfriend and my friend. And we ended up walking to this spot to where we thought we'd be able to see the stars the best. Well, we were out there and it started to get really chilly, like abnormally chilly, especially for the time of year we were out. And we decided that we should go and find a different spot, somewhere that's not so cold, not so windy, or maybe just go up to Squaw Peak and kind of look at the city lights instead. So as we're walking back to our car, we see this man, or the figure of a man, and he has these eyes that are just glowing, just unnaturally glowing. And he seems to be moving. Like the shape of him doesn't seem to be solid. He's moving almost. And we get a little bit closer. We're walking towards, and we're just kind of trying to mind our own business and trying to get past this man. But as we get closer, there just are more and more bees. And that's when we find out that this man is just made of bees.
Oh.
And so what we end up doing is we turn around and run. It almost seemed like he was trying to beckon us to come towards him, but we turn around and we run. We make it down the river to another exit onto the highway. Once we're there, we flag down a truck who then took us back to our car. We later called the police and they did an investigation, but nobody could find a sign of the Midnight Bee Man.
Has there been multiple sightings of this?
Not
Or is
that I
this-
found.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's insane.
that is insane. It's interesting because you have the Midnight Bee Man, or supposedly this is the first. It's 2023, and we're just barely learning about the Midnight Bee
Yeah.
Man. I mean, all three of us have lived in Utah like almost all our lives, and this is the first time like we're hearing about it. So there's a lot of skepticism on my end about the Midnight Bee Man, but from what they said, this is just like a man made of bees, and he is almost hypnotic in a way. I don't know
It's
exactly.
like kind of turned them like docile a little bit. Like they like couldn't decide what to do or something. Like stuck in between fight or flight. Is that what you mean? Like
Yeah, like almost fight or flight, almost like he wanted them to come towards him, and
like a siren.
yeah, and
Yeah,
they-
like super just intrigued by like what they're seeing, you know?
yeah,
Then you get stung to death.
I could see,
you get
maybe.
wrecked.
I don't know what
you
the
know
whole
what-
point would be with the Midnight.
This
Bee
would be
Man.
Yeah.
something I'd actually be okay with antagonizing and being like F it. Like let's go see. Let's go drive up Spanish Fort Canyon at midnight. See if we can find the midnight. I'll bring wasp spray. Like I mean,
Fair enough.
It seems like to me it doesn't seem.
It's not scary.
intriguing. It doesn't seem as terrifying. You know.
Right.
Speaking of wasp, for whatever reason this popped in my head, but my little interesting tidbit, my wife told me the other day that or was telling one of our friends that if you have a wasp issue or like a wasp nest,
Yeah.
you're supposed to order like a fake wasp nest and place it next to the actual wasp nest, because apparently the colonies don't want to hang out like near each other,
Mm-hmm.
and so all the wasps in the actual one will just dip out.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Little racist things.
Kind of. Yeah.
but yeah. Sorry, sidetrack.
Nothing. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily be scared of the Midnight Bee Man. Like, I wouldn't want to get stung by a whole bunch of bees.
No, I agree.
No,
But like
yeah,
at the same time, I don't think it would be as scary as like the Wendigo or like a Skinwalker.
yeah.
I mean, those just seem like on a different level than the Midnight Bee Man.
Mhm.
And I'm like extremely skeptical of that because I found one story, and somebody made a TikTok about it.
Mhm.
And that story just happened to come out at the same time. Like,
The
TikTok
I wonder if
came
they're
out.
trying to like get some traction.
yeah,
It's kind of
don't know.
like that. Have you guys seen that video of Jim Carrey and he goes on the Tonight Show and he with what's that idiot's name?
there's so many.
No, the main one that Jay Leno used to do.
Jay
Who's the new guy?
Like the host, because they got
oh.
Stephen Colbert.
No.
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So Jim Carrey's on there. I think it was with Jimmy Fallon. It was one of those, but I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Mhm.
And he puts his hands up to his eye like in a triangle,
Yeah.
like the all-seeing eye, like a pyramid on the dollar type thing.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey did
Yeah,
that?
Jim Carrey did
Oh,
that.
interesting.
Yeah, and then I think then he like put it over the triangle over his mouth and like stuck his tongue out of it. I can't remember.
oh my gosh.
But anyways, so I saw it on TikTok originally, like in 2020,
Yeah.
and then the video said all of these laughs have been added in, like they took cuts from a different night and added it over, and everyone in the audience wasn't actually laughing because
Yeah.
he was trying to show that Hollywood's involved at the Illuminati,
Yeah,
and because he's like doing that sign, and then the host is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, like you don't know, you're one of them too," or something like that.
Oh my
What the-
gosh.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you talking?" The host is just playing dumb. He's like, "What are you talking?" You can look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point behind this is similar to what you're saying with the late night B-Man. That like the original TikTok video said there was no laughs. Like they just made that claim. They're like, I was in the audience that night when this happened,
Yeah.
and there were actually no laughs. They added this. And then you go on YouTube and there's like 30 comments that are like, there were no laughs that night. I was there. And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't think
Yeah, there are that many of you were
Yeah.
just there with
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. Yeah,
And
The
there's-
right.
entire
yeah.
audience is on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, there's tons of comments that are like, "Oh yeah, did you see this on TikTok too?" Question mark.
Oh my gosh. How many
So-
15-year-old boys was it?
Yeah, seriously.
Damn.
So, anyways, it's like kind of similar, but
Yeah, I agree with it. with you as well. I think there's a lot of like, I think just the day and age we live now is especially because like false information is so easy to get your hands on right now.
Yeah.
You know, is the fear mongering is like just runs rampant
Yeah.
as soon as it comes out. And so I think that's probably like the idea maybe they had behind it. Mind you though, I don't want to like take away the maybe like a situation that somebody witnessed, you know, and maybe that was actually very terrifying and they actually just wanted to like post about it. But
I'm calling cap.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to.
I just call cap on this story just because like I just can't believe the fact that, you know, we've been here for so long and there's so many sightings of skinwalkers and things like that. And we're just barely now hearing about this Midnight Bee Man. Like it just doesn't make sense to me unless you're telling me that something just happened and now we're magically just engaged with this Midnight Bee Man.
Yeah.
Like something just switched and now boom, we have the Midnight Bee Man. Like
Right.
I guess I could see that just like a new cryptid, but at the same time, like no. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like usually there's a lore and like we're the beehive state. And so I could easily see how somebody could make that up. It's like, oh, let's see what we can do about like Utah. Oh, they're the beehive state. Let's
Right.
make up this thing about bees. Like shut the fuck up. Like who's going to be like, we were just barely talking, like who's going to be scared of bees?
Right.
Like,
Dude, I'm
yeah,
scared of bees.
We have bee killer.
Yeah, I guess that's true, dude. There was one time when I was mowing a lawn down the street from my parents' house in my neighborhood, and I would like graze by this like rose bush,
Yeah.
dude. And I pissed off so many bees, dude. Because they started stinging me, dude.
Yeah.
And so I let go of the lawnmower and I ran up to my house. I ran and they were still stinging me.
Oh my
I still
gosh.
remember it. And like, I remember I ran into my parents' bathroom and there was one in my freaking shirt. And I took off my shirt and it flew out. It was like one of the worst days I've ever had.
I
It
feel
was
like
so
you
horrible.
just, when
Terrible.
you get that, you're like, I just want to kill that bee. Like that
Yeah.
one in your shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you just so
Like I trapped
aggro.
him. You dunzo.
Yeah, you like turn on the water and throw him in there.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
flush it down the
Drown him,
toilet.
dude. Ah, ah.
Get the
Yeah.
bee killer and get some revenge.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then
just spray it on him continuously for like the whole can.
he's so messed. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what to think of that story.
I don't know. And of course, my telling of it wasn't the best.
No, it's all right.
That was
But
great.
something else that is interesting in Rock Canyon, that's also a place that's really haunted around here. They have a lot of quote unquote ghost sightings there.
Mhm.
And so you'll hear a lot of stories of just people in Rock Canyon and they'll see different things there, different apparitions. Some people will claim that they've been attacked by spirits in there, which I think is really interesting. Because I haven't really heard a lot of like stories kind of here in Utah where people get like attacked by ghosts.
Right.
I mean, outside of like what you're saying,
Mhm.
but where they get like attacked, I guess, in more of a public setting like that.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because that is very public.
Yeah.
It's home of a lot of like rock climbing spots. It's a really actually like a beautiful hike too.
oh yeah,
But
lots of
yeah,
rattlesnakes.
there's quite a bit of people there, so that's I think, that's pretty interesting. I actually didn't know that.
And so it's interesting. That's one of the places that's known to be one of the most haunted in Utah.
Interesting.
Which
yeah.
did you know? I just heard on the radio a couple days ago that Utah and California are supposed to be the most haunted states in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, which I'm like, does that just mean that we have the most nut jobs? Because you've got like these crazy religious people that have founded Utah. and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I think
super in tune with their emotions and
no, I think you hit it right on the head. Honestly, like the thing is that everybody, and again, my intention with saying this is nothing to go against like what people believe in, because I think believing in something is great. But because there's so many people here that all believe in one uniform thing, I think the open-mindedness, if you will, within that realm, leaves a lot to be desired here.
we've been paranormally gaslit.
Yeah, almost exactly. So, but no, I wouldn't be surprised. That's very interesting, and I think California, just because they're all like
There's a lot
Crazy.
of people. There's just a lot of people in a smaller space. Well, I mean, California's a big state, but like
It's so condensed.
it's condensed. It's a big melting pot. It's,
Mhm.
I mean, also there's a lot of UFO activity supposedly as well. So
Yeah.
I have something to do with it, but a lot of national parks, a lot of mixture of like a lot of people still spending quite a bit of time outdoors,
Yeah.
which is like not great to not have scary stuff happen. I mean, if all you do is go from your house to your office to your back to your house and then grab
Yeah.
something to eat, like
You're
Probably not
probably
gonna
never
run
going to
into a
witness
ghost.
anything. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
Mm.
For sure. Again, I don't want to take up too much more time on this just
Yeah.
because we're now at an hour 15.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm good.
But
Yeah. I think we're all, I mean, I've said what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So.
I had like a couple more stories, but we can just save those for like another time for sure.
Yeah. We can dive into those come this Halloween episode.
Yeah.
I think for now, I think we stated in earlier throughout the podcast, but we're going to have a special episode come out Tuesday
Yeah.
for the day of Halloween. So yeah, we'll have something nice planned for everybody then.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah.
it'll knock your socks off.
Finger looking good.
Yeah. You guys are all
Colonel
going to want to get
Sanders here.
KFC after
Yeah.
that episode. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Get that wing bucket, baby.
Yeah. Dude.
I'm just playing into the stereotype that all Americans think of food all the time.
Yeah.
I do.
Because I'm so
I think of food
fat.
Oh yeah, you're huge.
too. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
almost as big as my sister.
I'd be proud of you if you got that big.
Oh my
Oh, really?
gosh, dude. Oh my gosh.
Bro,
I
I
just need to eat some more
swear.
symphony bars. Hopefully, there's some between here and Nevada. Hopefully, she hasn't got them all.
For real, dude. Like, whenever I see her eating a chocolate bar, I'm like, I gotta go 2 states over if I want a Snickers.
Guys.
I'll freak when we get into fights. Like, I'll go after. I'm like, Bailey, you can't go to the circus because you'll make the elephants feel self-conscious.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay.
Okay, we're not fat shaming. We're Bailey shaming.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of mean and she's kind of full of herself, so she kind of deserves it. And for anybody who's out there like, oh my god, nobody deserves that shit, like, meet her and you'll change your mind.
Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Also,
dude.
if
But
you're a
first-
bigger person and you're nice, then no one cares.
Yeah,
But if you're a bigger person and you're a bitch, people,
people care.
yeah,
I
they,
think it's probably
start
just
to
the
make fun of
other
you.
thing that
It's-
bothers people.
yeah, it's the bitchy part. It just gives them something to point at. So
It's okay. She gives me shit too. She's like, oh, Brennan, did you just go throw up your lunch in the bathroom? And I'm like, oh
Damn.
my god.
yeah, you want to eat it?
Oh shit.
oh, weird, dude.
I'll literally tell her too. I'm like, Bailey, I have to go. She's like, why are you leaving so early? And I'll just be like, because I got to go get tested for secondhand diabetes.
Goodness, dude. Dude, yeah. All right.
All right, maybe we'll jump off this
Yeah, yeah.
track for a
But-
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll end it here. Again, my name's Brennan with the Fat Sister.
My name's Gabe, but also follow us on Instagram and send us DMs, as well as email us.
At shadow.valleypod shadow.valleypod at thedojinetwork.com.
Yes, shadow.valleypod, and then give us a follow. Our Instagram name is Shadow Valley Pod. Again, I know we say this every episode, literally every single episode, but we'd love to hear from you guys, especially like Parker said, there's that city in Kansas. If our Kansas listeners, anybody in the vicinity there that would like to give us any more details or anything they might know,
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got Gabe.
And this is Parker.
All right. And this has been Shadow Valley.